In this video, we're going to take a look at percent increase and percent decrease. And now both percent increase and decrease describe how much a measurement has changed and whether it's changed for the better, the positive, or the worse, the negative. And so percent increase has a positive amount and percent decrease is a negative amount. This equation in green explains how percent change works. And so what I do with this is I allow my positives and negatives to dictate whether I have a percent increase or decrease. And so if I kind of work with this just a little bit, I can also change this so that I can figure out an end amount. And that's going to be my beginning times my percent change and that percent change is going to be positive or negative depending on increase or decrease. And I'm going to add that to my beginning, and that'll give me my ending amount. Okay, the percent change in here has to be a decimal, not the percent itself. It must be a decimal. And so there's an alternate way to kind of view it. So let's use this alternate way to do this next problem. I make $30.04 per hour. If I complete a master's degree, then I will receive a pay increase of 3.6%. How much would I make per hour if I complete a master's degree? And so to do that, we notice that, well, we're finding some sort of end. And so I take my beginning amount, which is $30.04, and I multiply that by my percent change. It is increasing, so it is positive. And the decimal for 3.6% is 0.036. And then I'm going to add that to my beginning, and that'll give me my end. So if I plug all this in my calculator, I get 30.04 times 0.036 plus 30.04, then I will make $31.12 after rounding to the nearest penny. And that's exactly how you can work this. Now, sticking with that same example or same kind of concept, due to financial reasons, I had to cut back my retirement contributions from $9,000 per year to $6,800 per year. What is the percent decrease of my contributions? Okay, so there's that first question. So I'm just going to kind of hack it off right there. Alright, so now I'm looking for a percent decrease. So my percent change is equal to my end minus my beginning divided by my beginning times 100. So I can just simply put all of these numbers in. I had to cut back my retirement from 9,000 to, this is my end. And so my percent change is equal to 6,800 minus my beginning, which was 9,000. After I subtract that, I divide by 9,000 and multiply by 100 at the end. And so I can do this in my calculator in steps. 6,800 minus 9,000 equals negative 2,200. So I'm going to do this in the steps. So my percent change is going to give me a negative 2,200 divided by 9,000 times 100. Negative 2,200 divided by 9,000 gives me a percent change of negative 0.24, with the 4 repeating, times 100. Now, we want to be kind of careful here. We have a repeating 4, but we don't really need to take it out to 20,000 decimal places. So we're just going to kind of shorten that up and say this is going to be negative 0.2123. Take it out to 4 decimal places. That'll be good enough. And so my percent change, when I multiply by 100, I'm just going to move the decimal place to the right because this is a positive. I move it to the right, which is in the positive direction on the number line. So this is going to be negative 24.44%. And so it's a 24.44% decrease. That's the answer to my first question here. It's 24.44% decrease. Okay, so now, but the second question is, by what percentage would I have to raise my contributions the next year to get back to contributing $9,000 per year into retirement? Be very cautious here. We are beginning at 68 and going up to 9. And so if I plug that in, my percent change is equal to my end, which is 9,000, minus my beginning, which is 6,800, divided by 6,800. That's where I started increasing. I multiply that by 100. And so as we go through this, this is going to be 9,000 minus 6,800 is 2,200 divided by 6,800 times 100. And so that's going to give me 2,200 divided by 6,800. 2 divided by 6, by the way, is 1/3, so it should be close to 33%. 2,200 divided by 6,800 gives me 0.3235 times 100. That's going to move the decimal place 2 spots. It's going to give me 32.35%. And so I cut it by 24%, but if I want to re-contribute, I have to increase my contributions by 32%. And so if you get a discount, you're going to have to make up for that with a greater percentage because you have a different beginning balance. That's what drives this. So be cautious about raising something and then getting a discount, that sort of thing. It might be cheaper in the long run to not get the discount.